Hello YouTube, I'm Joshua Duffarina. I'm going to do a video response to Jack Lloyd's video titled Gym Teacher Forces Female Student into a Pool, which is Danny Peterson and Sandra Gracia.
What's up, everyone? So there's this video of a gym teacher forcing a girl to go into the pool for a gym class, and apparently there's a bunch of hoopla about that.
Not good.
Now, of course, on a philosophical, ethical level, I see that as totally wrong. But what really surprises me is how people don't see that the entire educational process is that students are forced to go to school. If they don't, a police officer will, in the same manner, grab that child and force them into school or force them into some form of detention, maybe at a juvenile center.
Wrong! Students do not go to juvie if they don't go to school. Their parents will get in trouble if children don't go to school, okay? And also, children do not go to juvie if they don't go to school. Jack, you got it all wrong. Students don't go to juvie if they don't go to school, okay? Because if anybody doesn't go to school, then their parents will get in trouble.
Force them to go to court. If that child says no to the...
And they don't go to court for if they don't go to school either.
...mandated activity that the school is requiring, that level of force is used on anything. You know, if they're in class and they were disrupting something, there'd be an assistant who would come and try to force that child into detention. If they continue to resist, there would be a police officer who would come and use that level of force. That level of force is the norm for schools. It's just the compliance of most students, you know, for which we don't see the physical actions. But I see it all the time. I've seen it in the past, and I've seen it even working with young people in
All right, Jack, you listen to me. I don't know how old you are. You're acting like a 5, 6, or 7-year-old, and all these things are wrong. Children do not get detention, and children do not go to court and do not go to juvie if they don't go to school. If children don't go to school, then their parents will get in trouble. You gotta realize that. Jack, do you understand me?
In defense work. So everybody say, like, you know, on these channels, like, oh, it's so wrong, he's trying to force a girl to go into the pool. It's like, you do realize that that level of force is literally applied to every single student to go into school. And if they didn't, that level of force, being forced into a situation, you know, would be used if that child resisted. Whether it's going to a class, you know, if they resist further, going to a juvenile detention facility where they're put in an orange jumpsuit and held behind bars.
Wrong! Wrong! Children do not go to juvie if they don't go to school. You gotta realize, if children don't go to school, then their parents will get in trouble. And you gotta realize that.
Or if they were in court and they said no to the judge, they'd be thrown out and for contempt. They'd be put forcibly into some sort of detention camp. Very often that's what's used for juveniles.
You don't go to camp if you don't go to school either. How many times do I have to tell you that, Jack?
Juveniles and juvenile justice, you know, having practiced in that area. Yeah, they're going to be forced into very uncomfortable situations.
No, they won't.
Against their will. And that's literally what public education is with students. So, you know, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, no, that's so wrong. You know, she said no. It's like, you do realize that male, female, whatever, all students, the second they say no to whatever the government mandates as far as activities that are required for their education, that's the level of force they use to compel them.
No, it's not.
And maybe they might end up compelling them into the specific activity, but if they don't, they're going to go somewhere else where they're going to be compelled into something else. There's always going to be some level of compulsion and some level of force where some government agent is going to hold them and tackle them or put them into something. And the more they resist or say no, the more that they're going to be forced into that situation. I've watched it.
Wrong. Wrong. It's illegal to punish and ground somebody, and it's illegal to arrest children if they don't go to school, because arresting children if they don't go to school is wrong. And the right thing is, if children don't go to school, then their parents will get in trouble. That's the true law. And when you say, and Jack, when you said children will be going to court, and if they resist arrest, they go to juvenile center, that's false. For what you said about children is false, because if children don't go to school, their parents will be arrested. The true law is, if children don't go to school, then their parents will be arrested. And when you said, if they don't go to school, then they'll be placed into juvenile center, that's false.
Firsthand practicing in court and seeing what happens when someone says no to doing something at school, then they get put into juvie and they get say no to the
That's false too.
judge. Then they get put into another program, and they say no to the program. They get put into a more restricted program.
That's false.
I've seen it. I mean, how can
Ha.
this out of touch? Oh wait, I know, because the government indoctrinates people, and they think that their act of complying is voluntary when the government says if you don't go to school, or if a parent doesn't send their kid to some form of school, then they're all going to be thrown into a cage. Yeah, that's
False. You don't get put into a cage if you don't go to school. It's illegal to arrest children if they don't go to school, and it's illegal to put anyone in detention, because we want a new law saying if you put anyone in detention, then your teachers will go to prison. And I make the rules on YouTube. But it's a free country. We do whatever we want.
That's really voluntary.
Not
when you're
voluntary.
threatened with physical violence and being thrown into a jail cell if you don't either go to school or send your kid to school. And yes, even parents could be held in contempt of court. So absolutely insane. Of course, I completely agree that that the gym teacher, his actions are just abhorrent. But is that really anything unique to what is the system? Not in the least bit. In fact, that's rather tame. All right, take care.
Jack, all these things you said is false. When you said children go to juvie if they don't go to school, that's false. And when you said children go to get put in court if they don't go to school, that's false. Because a true law says if children don't go to school, then their parents will be in trouble. You just gotta realize that, Jack. You follow what I say, Jack Floyd, or I will get the cops on you for breaking my rules, okay? And if you can't obey by my rules, then you're going to jail, Jack. I know what I said, Jack Floyd! Just let me know what you guys think. Bye.